There is so much more to the railways than a nostalgic ache felt by so many people my age, which leads thousands of enthusiasts to flock to preserve steam railways across the country every summer weekend. The railways deserve a wider appraisal, one which celebrates their achievement in opening up the world in an unprecedented way. They turned the Industrial Revolution into a social revolution that had an impact far beyond the routes where the tracks took the trains. The railway was an invention that was unique in its impact, arguably far greater than any other previous technological development, apart possibly from the wheel itself.
This is where the railway age began. It's the Manchester station of the Liverpool and Manchester Railway, which opened in 1830. It was not by chance that the world's first major railway ran between Liverpool and Manchester. Manchester had 20,000 steam-powered looms operating. Liverpool had the ports where the cotton came in, and transport links between the two were really bad. The road was terrible, there was a canal, but it was very expensive to use. So the Manchester and Liverpool entrepreneurs looked to the railway to solve their transport problems. What made the Liverpool and Manchester Railway unique was that it was built on a much grander scale than any of the previous railways. It was twin-tracked, it was steam-hauled, no horses here, and passengers flocked to use the railway as well as freight. What's more, the railway linked Liverpool and Manchester, the two towns that were growing fastest at that time in the 19th century. So why railways? How come cars didn't replace horses? The reason is simple: technology. The rails were needed both to hold up the weight of the vehicle and ensure that they didn't need steering, which hadn't been invented yet. And most of all, the roads were lousy, full of mud and potholes. Liverpool is just 30 miles away from here, but until the opening of the railway, it took a day's arduous journey on the road to get there. With the railway, it was just 2 hours. The railways were the child of the Industrial Revolution, but they also carried that revolution first across the country and then around the whole world.
The first engines driven by steam were probably devised by Thomas Newcomen, an 18th century ironmaster. They were an invention crucial in keeping the tin and copper industries viable in Cornwall. But the most crucial development was by James Watt in the second half of the 18th century. Working with Matthew Boulton, he made steam commercially viable by improving the efficiency of engines and making them more adaptable to a variety of purposes. However, it was Richard Trevithick, a Cornishman working in the early 19th century, who has strong claim to be the father of railway steam locomotives. He not only developed the concept of using high-pressure steam, but he also had the idea of putting these crude locomotives onto rails.
The earliest railways used wagons to haul up coal from the mines, but then the idea developed of using the wagons to take the coal down to the river. And in a third development, loaded wagons were attached to empty ones to haul them up back to the mine. The driving force behind the development of the railways in the northeast was George Stephenson. He was a colliery engineer who, as early as 1814, developed a steam engine for mining use. Over the next few years, he developed a series of different engines, including this one called Billy, which was completed in 1826.